Today on episode 257 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, brand new team builder, our NBA playoff update, an NHL playoff update, and the TCF top 3 of guilty pleasure songs. Let's roll.
And I would like to wish you all the best with your podcast, Typical Chicago Fans. Again, best of luck to you and your podcast, Typical Chicago Fans. And one final thought, Zach. Go Cubs! And peace.
Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 257. Make sure to check us out on X at typical_Chicago. Head to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you give those pages a like as well. For all of our content in video form, get on over to YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there as well. So subscribe, rate, review, 5 stars. Wherever you get your podcast, check us out there. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. And, of course, the man that is seated to my right, that is Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Zach, it was like 94 today. This weather, I'm not going to complain about it. Kind of stunk.
Well, it's supposed to go back to being cold here soon. So, we get a little taste of actual summer. But
I'm not ready for it.
It's also just so windy, and I hate the wind. It makes me mad.
I know we talk about it all the time in here, but like out where we're in the content cave down at my house, we have no wind block. I had to shut our cameras off today because they were going off every 30 seconds.
Living in town, I don't really notice it that much.
You drive out of town, it feels like your truck got hit by a
my dad was mowing
bus.
his yard, and he was like complaining about how windy it was. I'm like, yeah, it's a little windy, and I go out and get something from their house, and it's like, oh my gosh, it is really windy.
Yep.
So
exactly.
But I think it's supposed to cool down.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like 50 this weekend.
Yeah, so that's always a chance for maybe a tornado.
I don't like the sounds of that. We'll jump into things as always. We've got sinkers and floaters. My sinker this week is the NFL schedule release, and I hate to sound like a hater, but I just don't care.
No, and the way they do it is like
it's corny now.
Certain games are on one day, certain games are on the next day, and then they do like a full release on one day.
Yeah.
All these teams are making videos about it. It's just not good.
Yeah, I just don't care. And like I think Hank on Pardon My Take said it, and I don't want to be this guy, but it feels like people that cheer for bad teams get excited for it.
Well, yeah, like every team does their own videos about it. Like I've seen the Bills did one.
Oh, the Colts had to take theirs down?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 'cause I think it's something to do with Tyreek Hill.
They had Tyreek Hill getting arrested by the Coast Guard.
But the Bills did one, and like they called Josh Allen, and he's like, do it AI.
Yeah.
And then Allen Iverson did it.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so like, and then he wouldn't say go Eagles. He said go Josh Allen. No, he wouldn't say go Bills.
Oh,
He said
right.
Go Josh Allen, and like I'm guessing they must have gave him a lot of money to do that.
Got the bag.
But yeah, they did Allen Iverson because the guy, the coach or whatever, didn't know who AI was or the owner of the team.
It's jumped the shark for sure. And like I don't know. I just have never really cared. And like the schedule is the schedule.
The best one was though Gruden did the Tampa Bay Bucks one, which is pretty good. And the Bears was just it's like a movie. Yeah. It's like they're trying to make it into like a little sitcom.
Yeah. It's played out and it's kind of dorky and boring now. It just doesn't do it for me.
No, and it's not very fun. And it's also not very exciting.
I feel like it's fun if you're like 12 years old.
Even that, I mean, the way they do it, you already know a few games before, and then you get the whole schedule. Like they don't even do it. It's all pretty much out before it's out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, like at least half of it.
Yeah. My sinker is coin tosses. Yeah. And we'll get more into that.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to talk about the Bulls because we don't need to. But the Bulls lost a coin toss that
because of the game you were at.
Yeah, I know. Which
Josh,
you can go back to that game, but also you can go to any.
That wasn't the only game they won. Close.
But yeah, it is one of those ones. If they would have missed that shot, they would have had the 11th seed, which would have technically they would have gotten the 1, but who knows in that situation. But there's no better way to do than a coin toss. We can't go to like other stats or something like that. We have to go to a coin toss for the 12th and 11th seed.
I feel like this is simple. Just do it like AAU tournaments, like free throw percentage.
Or something.
You know what I mean?
That's something that actually went on during the season. I think that's just annoying. Coin tosses.
I completely agree.
It's like that. You mean like the beginning of football games? Like there's no other better way to do that.
Right, exactly. And I don't know how you felt, but watching the draft lottery the other night, remember how excited we were? You were talking earlier about the video. We went live for the lottery because we thought the Bulls were going to get the one, and then they ended up with like Patrick Williams.
Yeah.
Now it's just like I'm so jaded as a Bulls fan.
Well, and then right away you get the 12th pick, which just sucks.
Yep.
And then
sweet, we get Jace Richardson.
The Dallas Mavericks get the 1 pick, which I think is
rigged.
Yeah, what do they say, the
NBA
frozen
rigged.
envelope.
Yeah, 1985.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they, with getting rid of Luka, it's a whole conspiracy theory.
Yes.
But yeah, the Bulls, that's just the worst too, because then the Bulls technically could have had the 1 seed, which you never really know. But just for that to be out there is just so Bulls.
Yeah, I would rather just not have known that.
Yeah, they didn't have to tell us that.
Yeah, they could.
It's in Chicago.
Yep. Come on, guys, rig it.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
My floater this week is the Chicago History Podcast. I know I said on the show a couple weeks ago that I had completely caught up on my favorite podcast called The Dollop, which is a comedy history podcast. I've been looking for one. I've still listened to a couple other ones, but there's one. So I think I've talked about this. I run a travel basketball program, so I travel up to the suburbs every Sunday. So I spend a ton of time in my car on Sundays. And I happened to just stumble across this one called the Chicago History Podcast. And I was like, oh, my God, there's 800 episodes. And then I went and looked at it, and it's not. It's 8 seasons of like 25 episodes.
Still a lot.
So there's a lot of episodes, but they're like 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I have just been burning through them on Sundays. I'm already probably 50 episodes in. So if you like history at all, Chicago history especially, they are incredible. They're family friendly for the most part. Like obviously there's some stuff that is a little dark, right? They talk about, like the fire and all the people dying and, there's some dark stuff, but for the most part, it's one like you can put on with anybody in your car, and it's just really good. I'm going to reach out to the guy and see if we can get him on the show. He is very thorough in his research and does a phenomenal job. So Chicago History Podcast.
And it can help with your TikToks.
Absolutely. That's kind of how I came across it. I had actually subscribed to it years ago, but it was kind of like at the bottom of my podcast, subscription page. And I've never listened to it. So I started re-listening to it. And it's phenomenal. So give it a
do they still do seasons? Is it still like a running podcast?
Yeah, it's still running right now. I think he's on season 8 or 9. Or I think I'm kind of catching up to.
So do they like come out with a full season, or do they drop episodes every week?
Episodes every week, and then he takes a break, I believe. So,
okay.
But he does. I mean, the first season, it is kind of like for someone like us, we live like probably an hour and 20 minutes out of like downtown Chicago. There are some times where like they're talking about like cross streets, and it's definitely ones we know. Like anytime they talk about Clark or Addison or even like Belmont or Lakeshore Drive, we know where those are at. But like there have been times where I paused the episode, gone to Google Maps, and been like, wait a second, what's around here? And then you see something on like the Google Street View. You're like, oh, I've been by here.
Yeah, because we go to certain areas of Chicago, but you don't realize how actually big Chicago is.
And you've probably like been through a lot more, like a percent of Chicago than you think. But
like going to parades and stuff like that, like going to the Blackhawks parade or the Cubs parade and stuff like that. You've been to more areas than you think. You just don't look at the street and go, oh, I'm on this street.
And I think he does a really good job at like including stuff from the suburbs, but not relying on it. So it's really interesting. Some of the
there's
really
always
cool
that whole
stories.
debate of what suburbs are actually Chicago and stuff like that.
Well, and it's kind of funny. He was talking about, I can't remember if it was Hampshire or somebody way, way, way out west. Well, back then, before the suburbs really bloomed after World War II, Hampshire would have been like the way that Chicago views like Bloomington normal now. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Cool to see like the evolution of Chicago, and I have found it very interesting.
That's fun, and like I said, it also helps with your TikTok.
Yes, yeah. Make sure you subscribe to the TikTok page. Still doing videos every day. Gotten some really, really cool followers that comment on just about every video. There's like yesterday's or today's was a boxing history video in Chicago. They're only about a minute to a minute and a half long. I just try to get to the point. And so check us out, Typical Chicago Fan on TikTok. Give us a follow there and let us know. What you want to hear about?
My floater is ice cream. It's that time of year where all the little ice cream shops are opening back up that everyone likes to go to.
Yep.
I love ice cream, especially like a brownie sundae is like my
Can't
favorite.
go wrong. How about those ice cream nachos you got down in Utica a couple weeks ago?
That's a great
game
place.
changer.
But that place is always open.
That's true.
But there's little places around here that are open only seasonally.
Yep.
Which are opening back up, and it's just fun to go to. Like when you go out to dinner or something, you stop in whatever.
Get a scoop.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's always fun. But yes, nacho ice cream. That should be more. How would I say?
Widespread.
Yeah, widespread.
Yep.
Because it's just like you get a waffle cone, like chips.
Yep.
And then you get ice cream and hot fudge and then whipped cream.
Oh, it's so good.
And then when you run out of the chips, you can just eat the ice cream.
Yeah.
So
it's a win-win. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Big ice cream fan. So,
but it's that time of year starting to get warm out. It's something to do in the summertime.
And there's ice cream. You don't need to say anymore.
Yeah.
Ice cream's the best. Completely agree with you. Let's move into the TCF Sports Minute. We're going to start off with the Cubbies. I don't want to say skidding. That's not the word I don't think I would use right now. They're sitting at 25-19, still in first place, a game up on the division. Got the Sox coming into Wrigley this weekend.
And a 3-game series, which is weird.
Yeah, very weird. We haven't had that in a while. Obviously a lot of injuries. Ian Happ being out with oblique.
Yeah, it's just precautionary. They brought up Ballestero to be the DH.
That kid's a tank.
Oh, yeah, he's like 21.
Yeah, the kid is a tank.
And
the picture of him coming in to the clubhouse.
It would just be nice if he could play like first base, and then but then Michael Busch is there, so it's hard to find a position for him. I wish he played third base. That'd be nice. Yeah. But he's DHing while Seiya Suzuki is playing left field.
That scares me a little.
Yeah, it shows you why Seiya Suzuki is our permanent DH.
Yeah, big time.
The way he plays defense.
I mean, the thing is like as long as you don't get swept, which they did out in New York, was it?
No, they didn't get swept. They won a game there.
They got swept by somebody, didn't they?
I don't think they've been swept.
Okay. If they can just keep winning.
They lost the series against the Giants and lost the series against the Mets.
Yep. Okay. So they just got to keep winning series. You know what I mean? Like
it sucks. If you look at their schedule at the beginning of the season and you go, they are 25-19.
Yep.
You'd be amazed.
Exactly.
I'd be perfectly fine with just being 500 at this point.
Exactly.
It doesn't help that the St. Louis Cardinals are on an unbelievable run here.
They're
like a game out now. I know
they're not a good baseball team.
John Gruden goes to the game and they won like 9 games in a row. Yeah, because it also doesn't help that now they're going to probably want to keep Arenado. I don't think they were ever going to trade him to the Cubs, but it would have been nice. But yeah, the Cubs, they're playing some bad teams coming up here. But yeah, just win a series. You can't sweep every team.
Yep. And it sucks. Like they lose 3-1 to the Marlins on Wednesday night, and like you want to beat the Marlins. The Marlins are bottom dwellers.
But you won the series.
You won the series, and you had a phenomenal walk-off win.
Oh,
I mean, you
Justin Turner has saved himself some games.
And I'll be honest, the team that I was most worried about in this division was the Cincinnati Reds, who have. I don't want to say hit the skids, but they're 21-24.
I'm not worried about the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, we got to work on this starting pitching. I know Matt Boyd played well, Ben Brown's played well, but I mean, we got to have to go out and get somebody if they want to contend.
I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with Cade Horton.
I think you just leave him up and let him
too.
pitch a full game.
Yes.
I don't understand why they did that. Why they started somebody 2 innings and then put him in? He's a starter. He started before. What was the point of that? I know that there's probably analytics behind it or whatever.
But it was over-analyzing the game, in my opinion.
And it worked out because they ended up giving up no runs in those 2 innings. But why not start him like he's going to the rest of the season?
Yep.
I don't understand that. I know if maybe you're trying to save innings, but then you just take him out earlier.
Yep. This is... Like you said, they're going to have to decide something, and they're going to have a plan.
Presley came in with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and he did well in that situation.
I still don't trust him as far as I can throw him.
No, but he's a guy that
he's been around. He's done it before.
Yeah, you just forget about something like that.
Yep.
one of the worst innings maybe
And even
of
the
all
same
time.
thing about this weekend, like with the White Sox coming to town. Like the White Sox are not a good baseball team, but you just got to come out and you got to win 2 out of 3. I'm not saying the Cubs got to come out and sweep here, but you're
the
at
White
home.
Sox we'll get into it, have been playing better.
Much better.
They just won the series against the Cincinnati Reds, and they're playing better. But the Cubs, you just got to win series, and it's a long season.
Yep.
And just because you're playing bad teams or teams that are below 500 doesn't mean you're just going to automatically beat them.
Yes.
It's still baseball. It's tough, and they just don't have as many off days either. They're going into more of a grind of the season.
Well, they haven't played a Thursday, it feels like, since
No.
beginning
they played,
of April.
I think the beginning of the month they played one Thursday game, and other than that, they haven't played a Thursday game in 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cubs got the White Sox this weekend, then they go to Miami, and then to Cincinnati. So 3 teams that should be right for the picking to at least take 2 out of 3 from.
Yeah, I'm excited to start to get into the division, too. I know they played the Pirates.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird because you're so used to playing the division teams so
18
many
times a year,
times.
yeah.
And now that you play every team in the major leagues.
Yeah.
But
A little more balanced. Not every team.
it's one of those things, it's just you want to keep winning series. That's all you can really hope for.
And speaking of the White Sox, they are at 14-29, like Zach said. Take the series from Cincinnati. They're 14 and a half games out. But.
They are at a 800 winning percentage since Pope Leo was, what did he picked?
Yeah, chosen.
Yeah, chosen by
elected.
his peers.
Yes. They got God on their side now.
Yeah, they need it.
But like you said, they're playing better, and you're going to start. I feel like we just say the same thing every week about the White Sox, but it's like you're going to start being like seeing more of these guys that like they traded Crochet for, that they traded, all these guys down the line that have been building up in the system. Like that's what this year is for. Go see what they're
And
see what they're going to do. Meredith.
He's not playing well.
No, he took that fly ball off the head, and
It's one of those guys that like you thought was going to come up and be good.
well,
and
he played really well to start.
And just played bad. But that's just going to happen.
Yeah,
It's also
exactly.
baseball, too. Look at a guy like
Not
Pico
every
Armstrong.
prospect-
Well, look at Pico Armstrong.
Yeah.
He didn't play well, and you just got to let him play. And he's on a team where he can kind of go through the slumps and not have to worry about it.
And I mean, not every single prospect is Chris Bryant.
But also baseball
You
is
know what
hard.
I mean?
It's
Yeah,
not like
big time.
you need time to get used to the game. It's not AAA baseball
Yep.
anymore. It's Major League Baseball, and you're playing Major League Baseball players every single day.
And another, positive for the White Sox. I mean, they go to the Cubs this weekend, but then after this, they go back and host Seattle and Texas. Texas is a solid baseball team. Seattle's in first place, but like they're not, walking into the Dodgers.
And also,
they're
if you're a
winnable
White Sox
baseball
fan,
games.
the record of most losses are most likely going to get broken this year by the Colorado Rockies.
This is my hot take of the week. The MLB needs to step in and force them to sell that team.
I don't know.
That's
They're just so bad.
But Bud Black,
Oh, yeah.
who people might argue with me here. Bud Black is a borderline Hall of Fame coach
Yeah, and got fired
and got fired because the upper
because the team sucked.
management refuses to run a baseball club.
because he was given it bad teams.
You just talked about the Pope. Jesus Christ himself could be managing that team, I think, and it wouldn't matter. That team is so bad. I
But-
don't even know. They're 7-36.
Also with the White Sox,
Zach, our old slow pitch softball team could go win 7 games.
I don't know about that.
I think we could. I think statistically, we're just going to fall into 7 wins.
I don't think you realize how hard it is to hit a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
We'd figure it out.
I guess. But they also have the best team in baseball in their division in the Detroit Tigers.
The White Sox?
The White Sox.
Yeah.
So it's not like they are in a bad division this year either.
Yeah, Tigers are playing well. Shout out to Javi Baez.
Oh,
That's so great to
I'd
watch. I
love to
love
see
that.
it. I love to see it. He had a walk-off home run, 2 home runs in the game. I love to see it.
Yeah, it's awesome to see Javi. We'll move on to a little bit of Bears talk. Obviously, the schedule comes out. I'll be honest, Zach, I haven't looked at the Bears schedule.
Let's kind of go through it.
Can
real
I
quick.
bring this up before we go to the schedule?
Yeah.
What did you think about the story this morning about Caleb Williams wanting to go to the UFL instead of playing for the Bears?
First of all, why does that get out?
I love
Why
it.
does it? That doesn't need to be said. But second of all, In what situation? I mean, there were so many worse teams.
Oh, yeah.
That he could have been picked by. He's lucky he went to the Bears. In a way, I mean, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, no,
I'm not
I know
saying
what
that
you
the
mean.
Bears are amazing, but being a number one pick, you usually don't go to a team that has a DJ Moore and stuff like that. And it really annoyed me.
Yeah, I knew it would.
It really annoyed me.
I was going to tag you on Twitter for it this morning, and I was like, I'll just bring this up during the podcast.
It actually made me mad.
I knew it would.
Because, first of all, that doesn't need to get out.
Well, and here's the thing.
Why does everything have to be said?
You're not wrong there. Here's the thing. If Caleb Williams struggles this year, like that story's not just going to go away.
No.
You know what I mean?
But it's his year. He has enough stuff around him. The offensive line's gotten better. You're going to have the running backs. You're going to have wide receivers. If he doesn't play well this year, it's on him.
Yeah.
It's not like
And
it's
that
on the
story's
Bears.
not
And he has an
gonna go away
offensive
here.
coach now.
Yep.
I just don't get why that had to be posted.
That was wild.
And then his dad was saying stuff about he didn't want him to go to the Bears and stuff. I don't get it. Because, yes, say what you want about the Bears organization. There were other teams that you did not want to go to.
Oh, big
that
time.
would have picked over him. You want to go to the Panthers? You want to go – I don't understand that. I don't understand why you would think that either.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that.
To say the least, it annoyed me.
Let's go through this Bears schedule.
They go at home against the Vikings, Monday Night Football to start the season. Then they go to Detroit, which
Do you
give
want to
me
do wins losses here?
no. I mean, we
kinda do.
can.
All right.
They're going to win that first game.
They are going to win the first game because J.J. McCarthy is going to be the starting quarterback. For the
Yeah.
Vikings.
So in Detroit, it's going to be tough. I'll go loss
That's a
second
loss.
game. At home against Dallas, that's a win.
I don't know if it is.
Well, I'm not. You don't get to talk.
I think I do.
You
I
don't
got a
get to speak.
microphone.
Unless we're going to go over to the Packers schedule too.
Easy.
We're not going to do that.
17-0.
And then in Las Vegas, I think that's a win too.
Here's my question when I saw that one. Do you think that it's going to be an easier win over Dallas at home or at Las Vegas? I think Las Vegas could be sneaky kind of good this year.
The Dallas still has Dak Prescott.
But a new coach, they
I'm
just
just saying,
got
though, they
George
still have
Pickens.
It's not like they have
CeeDee
just
Lamb.
a random quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they're both going to be tough games.
Yeah.
But it's in Las Vegas. That's not really like home field advantage. If you
Yeah.
really think about it. Like, it
don't
would suck to
disagree.
play for Vegas because of that situation.
Right.
Like, how many people are actually living in Vegas that are just giant Las Vegas Raiders fans?
I think it's growing, but it's just going to take
But it's also
time.
one of those things, you look at the schedule, people are probably making trips around it to Vegas.
Here's the next one. So you have a bye week, week
Which
5.
is 5. I hate that.
But here's what I worry about. Game is in Vegas. How many of those 53 guys making that trip are staying there?
That's fine by me. They deserve it.
I don't disagree, but
coming bye week
back
on week
home and then
5,
having to go to Washington is not going to be easy.
Week 5 is way too early,
So early.
for a bye week. Then they go to the Commanders, Monday Night Football game again.
Yep.
So that's 2 Monday Night Football games within 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of. And then they go, which I think is going to be a loss.
Yep.
They're at home against New Orleans.
Win.
In Baltimore and in Cincinnati back-to-back weeks, I think maybe they take one of those 2 games. That's going to be tough.
I think your best case scenario
It's
you-
one of those
you
2
take
games.
one.
I mean, that's insane.
I think Cincinnati's going to be not great.
I've seen the Bears and also the Packers are like top 5 hardest schedules
Yeah.
because of the division they play
Yeah.
against. And then at home against New York,
Should
win.
be a win, but
In
you
Minnesota-
never know.
Yeah, you don't know who's going to be the quarterback.
Exactly.
And then in Minnesota,
That's going to be tough.
I'll go with a loss. And then at home against Pittsburgh, as of right now, I'm saying that's a win.
With a
because-
huge question mark.
Yeah,
on
because
it.
you don't know who the
Yeah.
quarterback's going to be.
Yep.
That's crazy. They don't know who. That Aaron Rodgers hasn't signed with the team yet.
What was the one I just heard him talk about it on a show that he wasn't going to sign until after the schedule was released.
They keep saying he wasn't going to sign until after the draft. He wasn't going to sign until after the schedule release. I don't really care anymore.
You know what I truly think is going I don't think he's going to play.
That's fine by
I think
me.
he's gonna
Honestly,
retire.
If he retires, that's great.
Yep.
And then they
At
let's see here.
Philly,
At Philly, loss. At Green Bay,
loss.
it's gonna be tough. It's late in the season.
I'll make a compromise. I think I think Green Bay is going to beat them at home, but I think Green Bay is probably going to lose to them twice in 3 weeks.
Within 3 weeks is just, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I think that's bad scheduling by the NFL.
Especially to not have a Packers-Bears game near the end of the season, especially with a Bears team that should be looking down at improvement and should be theoretically sniffing a playoff spot. Now, granted, I think outside Minnesota's just got so many question marks. This division's not easy.
But hey, back to the Eagles game. It's on a Friday at 2:00. It's the Black Friday game on Prime Video. They're trying too hard with these games.
Yeah.
But with the Packers-Bears, I always think they should start the season with the Packers and end the season with the Packers. Yep. I don't see why they need to play twice in 3 weeks.
Yep.
But between those, they played the Browns,
who are a huge question mark.
I think they're going to win.
But they should.
The second Packers game, which is at home, is December 20th. It's a Saturday. Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen that schedule. It's the first round of national championship for football.
Oh.
And then Commanders, Eagles, and then Bears, Packers. So that's going to be a great day for football.
That'll be a really good day for football.
And then at San Francisco, which I think is a loss.
If it was in Chicago, I'd probably.
It's Sunday Night Football too.
I'd probably.
It's their only Sunday Night Football game as of right now.
Yeah.
And then the Lions to end the season at home, I go win.
Nope.
Also, it's just weird. I mean, I don't get why they had to flex that game.
Yeah.
They just put a date on it and a time on it for now.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
But hopefully that game means a lot. Looking at the ticket prices, the most expensive ticket as of right now is in Detroit for $282, and then at home against Dallas is the next highest, which is kind of crazy.
I just feel like there's Cowboys fans everywhere.
I feel like Steelers in Chicago. There's a lot of Steeler fans that live around here.
Yeah.
That are going to go to that
game.
Green
Bay has their bye week in week 5 too.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think it's way too early.
Was it 2 years ago where the Packers bye week was like week 13 or something?
Which is, I think, awesome. I think that's a good spot. I'd rather have it late than early.
My only thing about going to the Bears, now, I guess I shouldn't. The Broncos did make the playoffs last year. Between the two Bears games, the Packers play at the Broncos. So, it's not. At first, when I see Broncos, I'm like, cupcake win. Don't
you never.
But
you never
at
know.
Denver, with Bo Nix and Sean Payton in year 2, that's not going to be the cupcake that it was 2 years ago.
No.
So, I'm very excited. We got till September.
I don't like the way the schedule is put out, but it makes me excited to see the schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just feels like right now it's so far away.
Yeah, football is not right around the corner.
You know what should be right around the corner for everybody? Their coffee in the morning, and they should get it from our friends at Connect Roasters Coffee. They make the best coffee around that you are going to find. I promise you that. They work with Dom Frederick. You guys know our guy Dom. And, of course, they work with 3-time Gold Glove winner Ian Happ. Ever heard of him? Ever heard of the Gold Glove? Yeah, Ian Happ drinks Connect Roasters. So make sure you check out their website, connectroasters.com. Find them on X at Connect Roasters. Get yourself over to the storefront. I promise you will not be disappointed from our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. So big shout out to our friends over in Bourbonnais. We got ourselves a new team builder this week. We've got $15. We're allowed to go to any games we want with $15. So we'll go through the $5 row here. The $5 row includes the Masters, the World Cup, Super Bowl, Army, Navy, and the Kentucky Derby. $4 row, Duke, North Carolina, a Stanley Cup game, Wimbledon, Michigan, Ohio State, a World Series game. $3 row, Daytona 500, Final Four, the Rose Bowl, an AFC/NFC championship game, or the Ryder Cup. $2 row, Packers game, Red Sox game, Cubs game, Notre Dame game, or the NBA Finals. And the $1 row, the Maui Invite, the Iron Bowl, the NFL Draft, the Little League World Series, and the Frozen Four. If you can't see it, make sure you go check it out on YouTube. We got $15. You want to go first, or you want me to, Zach?
I'll go first.
All right, here we go. Got to put my math thinking hat on.
$5. Masters. Want to go to the Masters. I got to go to the Masters.
I'm boycotting the Masters, remember?
I know that, but it's
no
still
phones,
awesome. I want to go. We'll go down to the $1. The Maui Invitational.
I knew you were going to do it. I wanted that.
You can have it.
All right.
But, I mean, you can go to Hawaii and watch some good basketball. You cannot.
Literally paradise.
The $2 the Packers game is just should not even be on there. That's so
what do you
stupid.
mean? It's the best stadium in the NFL. There's a reason no other NFL games are on here.
I don't know if I should go with Cubs games because I've been to them.
I know. We don't have to.
I'll go NBA Finals.
Good choice.
That'd be fun. So
you're at $8.
$8. I'll go. The Stanley Cup would be pretty sweet. It's just so exciting.
Yeah, that depends though.
Yeah, who's in it?
Yeah,
but still, I was watching playoff hockey the other night. Overtime playoff hockey
is the best.
Is insane.
I agree.
And then for $3, I have $3 left, right?
You have.
Yeah, I'm at 12.
Yep.
The Final Four. Because you get to see both the games.
Yep.
You get to see both games. Like the AFC, NFC championship, they're in different places.
And you get 3. You get the championship game too.
Yeah, so you get 3 games all in the same place.
Yep. There's the $5 row really doesn't do much for me. I have terrible vision, so like going to a Super Bowl unless I'm sitting at like the first row at the 50-yard line, I'm not gonna be able to see anything.
And so
Kentucky
expensive.
Derby, I could care less about.
The World Cup will be, I think, in America here soon.
I'm just gonna skip the $5 row. Give me a World Series for sure. That's an easy one. I love baseball. I'm also going to take the Final Four, so that puts me at 7. NBA Finals puts me at 9. I would also go with the Maui invite.
Have you been to a Packers game?
Preseason. I don't like football games live.
No, neither do I. I do
just
not.
not
I went to a Bears game 5-6 years ago, and it's just, especially on a Sunday.
Yeah.
There's so many other games going on, and getting out of there sucks.
I would go, so I got $5 left. Give me the Ryder Cup for 3.
That was close not too long ago. I'm actually playing where the Ryder Cup was.
Fancy boy.
Aaron Hills.
Oh, yeah. And then for $2, just because I haven't gone to a regular season Packers game, I'll go to a regular season Packers game. The NFL draft has no business being on this list. Going to the NFL draft sounds
awful. You say that,
awful.
but I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people who go to those.
It's just, we talked about this last week.
The sea of people that were at the Green Bay one was just insane.
And that wasn't even the biggest one.
My thing is, what if you're way back? What are you getting from that?
Yeah, nothing. Hard pass.
I guess they're just dedicated fans.
I think the way I put it a couple years ago was it could happen in my backyard and I wouldn't go.
No. If it's in Chicago, I wouldn't go.
It was in Chicago and we didn't, so that tells you how much we want to go to that. Let's shift some gears. We've got an NBA playoff update. We've got a couple teams have punched their tickets to the conference finals. Timberwolves finish off the job over the Warriors 4-1. I think all that proved was that, yeah, Steph Curry's super, super important to what the Warriors do.
And what about Jimmy Butler? He did not play well.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this great player, and he did not play well when they needed him the most.
Completely agree.
Which is fine by me. I do not like Jimmy Butler.
And like, I like Buddy Hield, but like Buddy Hield has to be
scorer.
Oklahoma Buddy Hield every single night when Steph's not on the court.
He's a good piece of the puzzle when Steph is good.
And that doesn't take away the fact, I think Minnesota is phenomenal.
Julius
and
Randle
deep.
is playing unbelievable.
Yes. I mean, Julius Randle, Cat, Anthony Edwards, and then going to the bench,
Cat is
you've
not
got
on the team.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. That's what I was trying to say. And then you go to the bench, you got Dante DiVincenzo, Naz Reid. Like, they're just phenomenal.
I would love to see them in the NBA Finals.
Yes, I agree. In the East, the Pacers just obliterate the Cavaliers.
Cleveland,
what
I don't know
bunch
what
of
happened.
frauds.
Oh, frauds.
You hate to see it. Screw Cleveland. I loved watching
Loved to see it happen. But it just confused me because, I mean, the Pacers are good.
Yeah.
But with the way that the Cavaliers played this season, I did not think it would be that easy.
Indiana's a solid team.
Like Game 7 or something.
Yeah.
But
to take them out in 5.
4-1, right?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then in the other Eastern Conference series, Jason Tatum done for at least a year.
That sucks.
the Knicks were going to win that game either way, I think.
also the second very good player to tear his Achilles in just this playoffs.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
And now Jason Tatum. That sucks.
It does suck.
It also scares me to do any physical activity.
You can't live life like that.
He is a amazing athlete, in shape, and he tears his Achilles.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to me?
Yeah, but you could do that getting out of bed. So
That's what's scary.
No, you got to live your life. Knicks are really good.
Yeah, they're good, but they lose Game 5. Now they're going Game 6 back in New York.
It's over.
It's over,
It's
but I mean,
over.
you just don't want to get to a Game 7. I mean, this Celtics team is still a good team.
Yeah.
I know Luke Cornett.
Yeah.
What?
Former Bull.
He had 5 blocks in one quarter.
Yeah, Luke Cornett's a dog.
But
Never
you
thought I'd
just
say
don't
that
want to go to a
statement on
Game
these
7 because anything can happen.
Completely agree. I hate Boston so much. I've never thought I'd cheer for the Knicks, but
I don't know.
love Jalen Brunson.
I like Jalen Brunson, but sometimes the Knicks fans are a little annoying.
Oh, because the Celtics fans aren't?
I know, but
Celtics fans
the
are some of the
Celtics
worst
also
people
won
in
a
the world.
NBA championship last year.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what I mean, though? I mean, the Knicks, they were up 3-1 thinking it was over with. It would be kind of funny if they lost.
It would be kind of funny. I hope they both lose somehow. And then I think the best series that we've got, Thunder Nuggets. That series has just been incredible. I tweeted it the other night, and I will stand on this hill. I don't think it's super hard to argue with me. Nikola Jokic is the greatest basketball player on this planet.
I don't understand how he can do some of the things he does.
If he's not on this team doesn't go to the playoffs. I'm not trying to say that Kyler Murray. Good Lord. I'm all over the place.
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, thanks. I don't know why I was thinking of Keegan Murray, who's a very mid basketball player, and Kyler Murray, who's not very good at quarterback.
No.
Jamal Murray is good. If Jamal Murray's your best player, I don't think they're the Bulls.
But he's not.
That I know. And that's what I'm saying. They're
it's
taking
unbelievable because SGA is most likely going to get MVP this year.
But
it should be.
Yes.
He should win the MVP every year he plays the full season.
It is insane. What do you have, 42 and a loss the other night?
It's just unbelievable. The passes
44.
he makes, the things he does on the court, the shots he makes. It's unbelievable. He pulls up for a 3 and you go, no. Oh.
Yeah, that one there at the end where he hit it over Chet Holmgren, who's like 6'10", and he just, boop, right over top of him.
It's unbelievable.
He had 44, 15, and 5.
It too.
It's so awesome.
He's just out there like, it looks like he's moving at a slow pace, but then he just does some moves and a pass, and it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
But
it's so
they
fun.
got to win as we're recording tonight. I think it's, 3-2?
Yep, they're down 3-2. It literally tips off in 1 minute.
But if they lose the series, it means nothing. I mean, this Thunder team is unbelievable.
So good.
And it shows you why you want draft picks.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean imagine what they're going to do.
Everyone was like, oh, it's crazy they have like 10 draft picks in the next 2 or 3 years, and that's why.
I can't remember who I was listening to, but there is something to be said about the devaluing of those picks when you have so many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think so.
Like, what are you going to do? You're going to draft 7 guys this year? Go ahead.
Yeah, but if you draft 7 guys, 2 or 3 of them are going to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's better than drafting 2 players and neither of them being good.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So we've got 1 set, or 2 teams set. So who do you think is going to be in the West? Timberwolves and...
I think it's going to be the Thunder.
I do too.
I really want the Denver to win, but I just don't see them winning 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Especially going back to OKC, which is just a fun place to play.
Yeah.
Because what else they got?
Exactly.
And I also think it's going to be Knicks and Pacers, which would be an awesome series.
I completely
Old
agree.
school Reggie Miller back in the day.
What was it? Starks. What was his first? John Starks.
Yeah, and
Mark Jackson, Patrick Ewing. Those are some fun
Spike
teams.
Lee.
Spike Lee. Yep. Absolutely. So
Did you go to any New York Knicks game is nuts because I mean it's just the most famous people of all time are there.
It's crazy.
But also like normal people can't go to that game, can they?
No, the cheapest ticket was like $1,600,
which is usually what happens in playoff games, but it's
especially
just,
in major market cities.
it's
like
extreme there. I mean, you
Yeah.
think about a Bulls playoff game. not cheap.
No, not at all. Let's move over to the NHL. We'll start in the Eastern Conference in the second round. The Maple Leafs trail the Panthers 3-2.
I think they're done.
I do too. I hope they're done. I hate the Maple Leafs for some reason. So,
and the Panthers are just so good.
And
they got Marchand, and it just made them so much better.
Yeah. And I think in the same breath, I think that the Capitals are done too.
Yeah. It's just
Carolina's so good.
Yeah, they're a low-key, really good team.
Yeah. I don't.
Just weird to have a Carolina team good at hockey.
And Florida. We're possibly going to see an Eastern Conference final between a team from South Florida and a team from North Carolina.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because I think the Capitals are down 3-2, right?
3-1.
3-1. It's just to beat them 3 times in a row is going to be very hard.
Ovi's going to have a hat trick every game, I think, and I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Moving to the West, I shouldn't say surprising. Nothing's really surprising. Edmonton wins their series 4-1. I thought Vegas had put up a little bit more of a fight, but
that game was awesome though last night.
Yeah.
Overtime goal by the Oilers on like the craziest play. Overtime hockey is so
best.
Fun. It is just. It's so scary.
Yes.
I wish the Blackhawks were good again.
And then I think the one that surprised me, I guess I shouldn't be the way that Winnipeg played in the first round against the Blues, but Dallas being up 3-1 on Winnipeg is not where I thought this series was going.
They weren't supposed to beat Colorado. They beat Colorado, and now they're winning this series.
Now they're about to take down the Jets.
Dallas
who are 1 seed.
These warm weather states.
I know. We were 1 series away from possibly seeing Florida, Carolina, Dallas, and Las Vegas.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think Edmonton's going to be tough. If Dallas can keep this mojo going, obviously they got to finish off the Jets. But if they can keep this mojo going, like Edmonton's really good, but they can knock off Edmonton.
Edmonton is doing it for all of Canada.
I hope they lose. Not a Canada guy.
No, I think the Leafs are done.
I don't disagree at all. Let's move on. Let's finish things up. We've got the TCF top 3, and I hate to say it because these songs are going to get stuck in your head, but we are doing guilty pleasure songs. Now, my list.
I texted Boomy today, and I started looking at the notes or whatever, and I started thinking about some of these songs, and I went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I'm just listening to, like, sad songs, kind of, or old school songs.
You're welcome. We could easily go about 10 deep on this draft. So, do you want to start or do you want me to?
I'll go first.
All right.
Iris by Goo Goo Dolls.
Great song.
That's just awesome. And especially if you go on YouTube and watch them, it's in the rain.
Yeah, Johnny Resnick, what a legend.
Oh, that's amazing. They were just a stagecoach.
Yeah. My dad would be very proud of
That's
me.
one of those songs, you don't even
this.
have to sing it.
Yeah.
The crowd sings it for you.
I completely agree. My first pick, I am going to go with Dream, He Loves You Not. They opened for NSYNC when I saw them in 2002. It was an all-girls band. The song's about a girl trying to steal somebody else's boyfriend, and it's not going to happen. So if you know Dream, you know this song. I know every word for it. Probably shouldn't be telling people that.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, you know. My second is one I have recently started singing a lot more, and that's Bailamos by Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, that's a good song.
That song was a bop in about 1999.
Also,
fun fact, Enrique Iglesias used to be married to Anna Kournikova.
Was he married to Jennifer Lopez?
No, that was Mark Anthony.
Okay. My second one is Dear Maria, Count Me In.
Oh, great pick, dude.
Just a great. I was listening to the song
I got your picture. I'm coming with you.
Yeah, we don't need you singing it.
Oh, I had to.
But yeah, I turned it on and I knew every word to it.
Oh, that song. I've seen it live. It's one of those.
You can turn it on randomly and you can sing the whole song.
That's a great choice. Your third round pick?
It's tough to pick between these two. I'm going to go.
You want to go 5 rounds?
Yeah, can we go 5 rounds here?
Yep.
Then I'm going to go Dirty Little Secret by the All-American
Rejects. Good choice.
That is a great song.
Man, that's a solid one. I didn't know you had that.
Oh yeah, I went deep this time.
I am going to go with my third round pick. I'm going to go Gotta Tell You by Samantha Mamba. You probably have no idea what
you're saying there.
If you haven't figured out yet, I was a big, teeny bopper music fan. Gotta Tell You by Samantha Mamba. And then my fourth round pick, I will go The Call by Backstreet Boys. It's about one of the guys on the Backstreet Boys cheating on his girlfriend, and it's an absolute banger.
That's a good one.
If you listen to Backstreet Boys at all, it's on the Black and Blue album. Phenomenal album. You cannot go wrong. So that was my 4th round. You've got your 4th and 5th round pick.
This is very new. Pink Pony Club.
Oh, that song's a banger, dude.
I cannot stop singing that song.
My son last summer got his favorite song was Hot to Go by Chappell Roan. So I know very much what you're talking of. Hot to Go was
And then also, this is one that not a lot of people are going to know. It's called Dark Blue by Jack's Mannequin.
Yeah, good choice.
And just any Jack's Mannequin song I love. They're kind of a little sad.
Yeah,
but
big time.
Andrew
Sad boy
McMahon
music.
is just one of my favorites of all time.
That's a really good choice.
They're going to be, I think, at Red Rocks soon,
Nice.
which I would love to go see. But
my final pick, I'm going to go Careless Whisper by George Michael.
okay.
It's kind of hit the rounds again on TikTok. It's an old song, came out in probably the late 80s, but really, really, really good song. So any honorable mentions?
I have the Hometime Glory by Adele.
Okay.
That's kind of a sad song.
I would put an Adele song on there, but it would be I can't remember the name of it.
Is it 21?
No. It's probably her biggest song.
Rolling in the Fire?
No. Hang on just a second. I'm pulling
Hello?
it up. Someone Like You.
Oh, okay.
That song's...
I don't know if Hello's even the name of the song.
That is that song.
It's just that's the lyrics
That's
of
the
it.
lyric to it. I also had Yearbook by Hanson. Your sister will appreciate that. That's a deep cut.
It is.
That's a deep cut. I have so many, though.
Remember
because
303?
I've seen 303 live twice.
Yeah, their songs are pretty...
When I Get Home, You're So Dead by Mayday Parade, and also...
They're sad, I would say. I wouldn't say sad, but...
Jamie All Over by Mayday Parade. Big Mayday Parade guy. There's so many I could go down
I was going to go
here.
into like Green Day and My Chemical Romance, but those are well-known songs.
Big time.
They're not like guilty pleasure, I don't think.
Definitely. Anything by Panic at the Disco and Fall Out. That's not even guilty pleasure. I just listen to them all the time.
Especially
anyway.
old school Panic.
And it's kind of come the other way. Like it used to be Creed, but like Creed's kind of come back around that like they're popular
that's like
again.
Popular now.
Yeah. Oh, big time. I might go see
Nickelback.
Creed this summer. There's so many. I'm going down a playlist here, and it's just filled with ones I probably shouldn't tell people I listen to. And literally, Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera.
What I would say is you listen to what you like.
Yeah, I'm not.
Who cares?
Deep cut here is one I meant to put on the list. I forgot. Don't Let Go by En Vogue.
Nothing I hate more than somebody telling me what to listen to.
Absolutely.
Unless you're in the car and it annoys you, don't tell me what to listen
and
to.
poor Zach's been stuck in the car with me for some of these hits all over the place.
I don't mind. It's the other music you
The
listen to.
deathcore?
That kind of makes me go crazy.
Yep, that's understandable. But let us know what your guys' guilty pleasure songs are. That's going to do it for us here for episode 257. Make sure you check us out on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you give us a follow there. Subscribe on YouTube. 5-star review, subscribe, rate, anything. Wherever you get your podcast, we are there as well. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, and of course Zach at ZLiliaTCF. Make sure you check out our friends over at Connect Roasters for the best coffee around that you are going to find. We will be back at some point next week, but before then, we appreciate you guys checking in. This was episode 257 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.